Hi, I'm Mike, the Bearded Bimbler, and this is my adventures. So come with me as we run, walk, crawl and cycle across the many and varied landscapes of the UK. So there we are at Parsons Folly. I suppose one now is as good a time as ever to do one of those irritating channel updates, seeing as I've kind of been in absenteeism for about 3 years. So at the end of 2019, which is when I did all of the parkrun stuff, we obviously went into lockdown the following year, the first of many lockdowns. So any kind of outdoor activity really, and anything other than like the local streets or area for me was basically done. We weren't allowed to travel, we weren't allowed to go anywhere. I kind of eked out that first year in 2020 up until the November of that year when I caught COVID. So I'm a nurse and I was working in the community at the time, and it was a bit of a chaotic year to say the least for all kind of healthcare professionals, all professionals that had to work during that period. It was nuts. So I caught COVID in the November of 2020, and I wasn't unwell. You know, I got COVID, I had COVID like most people, but I wasn't particularly unwell with it. And then I just never got well. You know, I was tired, I would walk up my stairs and, you know, by the time I got to the top I would lie down for 10 minutes because I felt like I was going to die. I was that exhausted from doing it. That got worse. You know, I'd be sleeping 11, 12 hours plus a day if I could. I had no energy for anything, couldn't stop running, couldn't run more than like half a mile if that. And then I started developing headaches. And that went on until sort of the February of 2021, and my GP wouldn't do anything, wouldn't offer me any assessments, wouldn't offer me any treatments, anything like that. In the end, on my 40th birthday in the week, after Mrs. B had threatened to call an ambulance, I actually went to hospital, and at that point my blood pressure was dangerously high. Pretty much close to having a stroke or some kind of seizure, and it was there that I was diagnosed with having firstly a brain tumour and then kidney cancer, which was a bit of a surprise considering how fit and healthy I had been, you know, the previous year. Or in 2019 I was massively fit, didn't smoke, didn't drink, you know, I was running sort of 100 something miles in a week when I was doing parkrun. You know, I was doing 2 ultras a month. So yeah, I literally 2021 was a bit of a crazy year. I kind of stopped doing everything. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. I had to have an operation. I had to have my kidney removed. I had to have an operation to remove the brain tumour, and then I've spent sort of 15 months of that recovering until sort of like last year, 2022, when I eventually went back to work. And then towards the end of 2022 I'd had follow-up scans, and you know, I had brain tumour again, and it never really went this time. It's not grown, it's shrunk slightly, but it's not disappeared like the first one when I had the initial treatment. So yeah, that's kind of where I am in a nutshell. Renal cancer hasn't reared its head since that time. All of them scans have been fine, but unfortunately my brain doesn't kind of want to play the same game, and keeps kind of tormenting me, I suppose. So a lot of things have changed. I'm not allowed to drive anymore. I've lost my driving licence. I've had to reduce my hours at work, so I work part-time now due to the kind of tiredness I have. I can't go as far as I used to or would want to go. I certainly couldn't run an ultra, and I don't think I would even try now. There's all kind of complications in that with my one remaining kidney and my renal function, and how that's going to work. I have no idea, because there isn't really any evidence behind it to say otherwise. So yeah, it's a bit of a rarity that I come out on my own, I think, these days and do these camps. You know, I did the Sandstone Trail in November last year, which was the first long distance thing that I'd done, God, in probably about 3 years. You know, today I'm doing from Tewkesbury to Pershore eventually, and I can see Pershore kind of sitting down there, but I'm stopping a night on Breeden Hill as my first kind of overnight wild camp since probably November last year. So yeah, a lot of changes, a lot of things to get used to, a lot of uncertainties as well. There's not really any guarantees that, you know, I'm going to be great in the next 5 years. And there's no guarantees that I'm not going to be great in the next 5 years. So I have to kind of take every day as it comes, I suppose. You know, I've kind of left a lot of the baggage and a lot of that irritation I had around. Oh, don't get me wrong, I still mourn about the world, but it doesn't irritate me anywhere near like it used to now. I kind of just let a lot of things go anymore. I'm not bothered about people's little problems or intricacies in their lives. I don't really care. I'm quite happy, I'm quite content with me and how I am and how my life has gone. You know, so I can't really ask for more. I've got a happy marriage, I've got 2 kids, I have a job, I'm not in debt, you know. There's nothing really wrong with my life other than what's going on with me, and that's just part of my makeup of my life, unfortunately, and I just have to get used to that. So yeah, I've got a few things planned this year, hopefully, a few routes and long distances. I've started running again, and I'm up to 4 miles now, which is quite amazing since December. So I still have that kind of fitness in me somewhere lagging behind. Don't get me wrong, I'm bloody knackered when I've done it, and especially because of the tiredness that I have to live with now. It's a lot more of a struggle than it used to be. So yeah, that's a little bit about what's going on with me. Hopefully there'll be a few more videos coming this year if the GoPro kind of behaves itself, I suppose, to see what's going on. But for now, happy days.